we've talked on the YouTube channel in the past about Evolve and how this was a game, guys, that was almost ahead of its time when it did come out on the, obviously when I played it on the Xbox One. And it seems like it was one of those games that didn't really get a real chance to shine because there were just problems at launch, and obviously there was a ton of people who started getting behind this game, and then all of a sudden the player base just it dropped substantially. The current players and or concurrent players and such, it just dropped off in a substantial way, and I just felt like Evolve never really got the chance that it really deserved. And so what I want to talk about here, we've talked about Evolve 2, the continuation of Evolve, the hope that Evolve 2 will come out at some point or another in the future. And I want to talk about everything that we want in this game if it were to ever come out. Now, guys, this is all going to be based on, if this series ever does come back. I mean, it's in a limbo state at this point. It's hard to say if they would ever continue making another Evolve game. Most likely not. But at the end of the day, you can never say never. If there's enough people in the community that want it, a lot of times the developer will look at those things and very well may greenlight a second game. So let's talk about everything that we want in Evolve 2. So guys, I would say that for me, the number one thing is just a second chance. A second chance at seeing what Evolve could maybe do. They know what they did right, wrong, and what they can do different moving forward. Evolve reminds me of like a Dead by Daylight, but just like, obviously it has its similarities, it has its differences, of course, because it's a, completely different type of game. But at the end of the day, a multiplayer experience, I thought, that was very interesting. You have, obviously, monsters versus, just the humans, right? 3v1, that concept reminds you of games like Dead by Daylight, reminds you of even, Doom Eternal and their battle mode and such. And what I'm getting at is more and more games are like that. And what I said earlier was that Evolve was ahead of its time. It kind of was the first game like that, where it was like this 3v1 type of style. And other games over time have kind of copied that, or kind of taken it to another step. Look at Dead by Daylight, how huge that franchise or that game is at this point. And so I think Evolve had some really good concepts, had some really cool ideas, and I think it's important to see that continue now moving forward into Evolve 2 and just give it a second chance. Let's just see where, it can go moving forward. At number 2, guys, for me, it would really come down to, when it comes to an Evolve 2, I think it's important that you build a story here. Not just the multiplayer experience, which I thought was, in my opinion, was pretty fun, but having another way that you can connect with the franchise. Whether we're talking co-op, multiplayer, and a campaign, I think that all helps support the structure. When we look at games out there, guys, that are only multiplayer, I think it's really important that when you look at it from a number of different, styles, from a number of different concepts, I think it's important that Evolve as a franchise now, that it would be if an Evolve 2 did come out, I think it's important that it is consistently, no pun intended, evolving as the franchise progresses with a campaign. And that would really help the structure of Evolve 2. Because you look at a game like Titanfall, when this game came out, not having a campaign, only having a multiplayer experience, I feel like actually held it back somewhat. Now, if you're talking free to play, that's a whole nother thing, but I think it's important to have, with Evolve 2, having a campaign that can help support everything else. And kind of get people to understand a story here, because I think it's primed for a story as well as a multiplayer experience. Another thing, guys, that's really big to me when we're talking about Evolve 2 is making it free to play. I think having a free to play Evolve game could be absolutely huge. It could be massive for this franchise. And so I would love to see a free Evolve 2, because I think that it would get a lot of people back into playing the original Evolve just to kind of be refreshed, and then get back into it by playing Evolve 2 and going ahead, playing the campaign, playing the co-op modes, and playing the multiplayer modes, and really put a spin on it, right? Having new hunters, having new, just having new characters overall would also probably really help, because it was a really cool concept, guys. So I would love to see that as well. Overall, guys, these are the main things that I want to see. See a campaign, see co-op modes, obviously the multiplayer mode, which was what was, made it so great. But at the end of the day, I think making it free to play could absolutely be huge for Evolve 2. And I think that that could actually really help the revival of the Evolve franchise moving forward. And these are the things that I would want to see. And I think that we could very well see them. It's just hard to say whether or not, it's ever something that will come back. But I would love to hear from you guys. Let me know in the comment section below. What do you guys want to see in Evolve 2 if it ever did get greenlit? Let me know. And for more Evolve 2 content and videos, stay here with Zero TV.